Well, would you look at that nice complete roster right there? Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 characters in the party! That's so many characters in the party. For a game that lets you take 2 people with you at a time, that's a lot of characters to have in your party. It's noteworthy how many of them are optional, though, specifically. Which, let's see, 1, 2, no, not optional, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 characters are optional by my count, if I'm correct. No, I'd say 7 characters are optional, yeah. Okay, you have to get Legion, because as you can tell, we got the Reaper IF. He was tied to the Reaper IFF mission, and that's a mandatory story mission, so you have to get Legion. But you can just not wake him up. I think you can go the entire game without ever waking up Grunt or Legion once you get them. Grunt's also a mandatory mission. This game uses a combination of because the whole game is about time just sort of passing, basically, and the story just happens as time happens. They accomplish this in 2 ways. One thing is the Horizon mission. The Horizon mission triggers the moment you do all of the first dossiers. Those are all mandatory. The dossiers are mandatory, the party members are not. So I believe if you don't wake up Grunt, I think he can actually stay in his pod the entire game. I've never tried, because it's weird to not bring party members with you, but you can. Similarly, I think you can also just not wake up Legion, and he'll just sit there in containment for the rest of the game. So I think that's also an option. So that means that you have 2 mandatory party members you start off with, Jacob and Miranda. Then you have 3 who have to recruit, which is Garrus, Morden, and Jack, because you have to complete all 4 dossiers at the beginning of the game in order to make the Horizon mission happen, so the story can continue. After that, though, we stopped doing mandatory triggers, and we instead started doing time-based triggers. The game simulates time by having you complete missions. So, if you do certain missions in the story, and then just do anything that counts as a mission, including side quests, like landing on random planets and stuff like that, that counts as time passing, and then the next time-based story thing will happen. So once you do Horizon, you do a few missions, I think it's 5, and then suddenly the collector ship happens, where you go on the collector ship and you get your new weapon type and stuff like that. And if you're like me, you pass that time by recruiting new party members, but you could do side quests instead, and you could. I think you might be able to go into the Omega 4 Relay without recruiting any of the late game characters aside from the unconscious Legion, which I think you can then also not wake up. I don't think it goes well for a lot of those characters if you don't recruit them. Zaid and Kasumi are DLC characters, so they're kind of outsiders. I don't know what their fates are. But I think, like, Tali is a late-game character you recruit that I think if you don't recruit her, she probably straight-up dies on that mission. I mean, we rescued her during that mission, so I think she just straight-up is dead if you don't recruit her. Because if you don't save her, then what's going to happen with her? Don't know what happens with Samara, but I don't think you have to recruit her. Don't think you have to recruit Thane. And I don't think you have to recruit... What's the other late-game character? I'm blanking... I lost track of which ones I counted already. It's fine. So what's interesting is you could have a very, very different party, which I find interesting. I'm always tempted to do alternate playthroughs of these games where I have vastly different casts, like way fewer characters, just to see how it goes. Like, if I had infinite time, because, I mean, this is taking us a long time, but if I had infinite time, I would love to play through the Mass Effect trilogy again, but kill off as many characters as possible and recruit as few people as possible, and see how the game changes. Because, like, there's interesting things, like, Rex is not a party member in this game, but he could have died at the end of the last game, and we went to Tachanka, and Rex was there, and he was kind of a big deal for that setting. So imagine going to Tachanka, and there's no Rex. Is he absent? Is there a different character? I think in this case there is a different character, but, the way that they handle different characters being alive or not alive in various contexts is one of the things that makes the franchise great. Unfortunately, it's not very Let's Play friendly because holy crap, the time commitment involved in trying to explore the differences between different playthroughs. It's much like how I'd love to play Witcher 3 again, but make different decisions in every major story mission. But oh god, in some ways, I'm still not done with my first playthrough of that game. So I'm bringing up the time stuff because it's a little subtle, but because the Reaper, I'm sorry, the collector ship was the sort of clue that like a time-based thing is happening in this game, because it was a mandatory story mission you could not do, but it came up out of nowhere. It just showed up sometime after Horizon. I believe 5 missions, but if you're not counting, you wouldn't necessarily know. And now we're in a similar situation. I won't say anything about it, of course, but at this point, there's no story mission to go on, which is noteworthy, which means that we're either in one of two states. It's either I do a specific action to unlock the next thing, or I wait. And yeah, the objective is literally await the IFF installation. So now, we're in another phase of the story where I wait for X amount of time, and then the next piece of story will just sort of happen on its own. Which is why I did a lot of stuff... That's why I specifically did a lot of stuff before I got to the Reaper IFF. Is because I want to get as much stuff out of the way as possible, because I don't want time limit elements of the game to cause us any problems if I can avoid it. But we've waited long enough, and poor Tali is facing treason charges. And you can see why I specifically waited on doing her particular mission, because we have a Geth in the party. That's odd. It's one of those things that you would never see coming necessarily in advance, but it sure is a thing that exists. So we're gonna go help Tali and try to fight her treason charges. And admittedly, if I was 100% in character role-playing, I might say let's not bring the Geth, because that might damage our chances a little bit. It seems kind of like if we're trying to prove her innocence, bringing a member of the enemies would not help that purpose very much. But as somebody who wants to see interesting things happen in a video game, I totally want to bring the Geth. So at long last, here is the Migrant Fleet, the home of the Quarians. Much talked about. In fact, yeah, very much talked about. In that the first game, all that Tali could do was lore dump about this place the whole game. And here it is. A fleet of 50,000 craft, holding over 17 million Quarians. The Migrant Fleet is the largest array of spacefaring vessels in the known galaxy. Though Quarians on pilgrimage have visited most settled worlds in the galaxy, few outsiders have stepped foot inside the Quarian ships. Now this is one of those things that I count as more of a fantastical element of Mass Effect in particular. I have a lot of trouble accepting the idea that an entire race of people are just dedicated to living in spaceships all the time, because, like, as the game itself explains, that's really hard. All their stuff's always breaking down, and like they have to run all the time. They can't park them constantly. Like, look at that giant planet spaceship thing. What is that? That's crazy. That thing's crazy. It's noteworthy how many of these ships look like they're meant to house like huge populations, because you have the dome sphere things, but you also have those like not Dyson. Well, I guess that's probably Dyson sphere actually, technically, maybe, or something close to that at least. But then you have the rings that you always see in sci-fi movies where they have a big circular thing, like that's actually like the Presidium on the Citadel. Those rings that people must be living in a circle with the weird like distorted gravity and everything. But like living in this situation seems like such a hassle and so dangerous and so problematic. I have trouble accepting that they wouldn't just find a nice, hospitable planet and settle down, because apparently space is full of them. And I mean, when the humans came into space, we didn't have much trouble finding a whole bunch of planets to settle on. So why didn't the Quarians settle on, I was gonna say Eden Prime, but they're different from humans biologically, so maybe some planet that fits them? Because it seems like the Citadel space knows about so many planets that they could reasonably settle somewhere. The best explanation I can think of is that they're just so stubborn about the idea of recapturing their homeworld that they refuse to settle on any other planet, and they're just continuing their mission of figuring out how to oppose the Geth to take back their homeworlds. But that said, it's been so long. Like, so long at this point. It's not like 10 years or 50 years of stubbornness. It's like generations of stubbornness. They've been going around for so long now that it's hard to accept the idea that at least some big chunk of them wouldn't have like a big Quarian settlement somewhere. And so it's hard to accept that monolithically the Quarian species would all be okay with just being in space forever, so long that their entire immune system breaks down and they lose the ability to ever be anything other than spacefaring species. It's a bit much, but I kind of hand wave it away because I'm like, yeah, cool sci-fi concept, yeah, let's do it. Which is half the reason I accept a lot of things in these games and in Star Trek and in Star Wars is sometimes whether or not it makes sense isn't the most important part. Sometimes it's just a really cool idea, like, oh man, a whole race of people that are in spaceships all the time, lost from their home world. And like, yeah, alright, cool. Let's do it. Tali and Legion. We are Legion, for we are many. I think I already misquoted it. Alright, Legion. Oh, AI hacking and combat drone. What a coincidence. They seriously have the exact same top 2 skills. And the third one's a passive stat boost, so the main differentiation between these two characters is their final skill. She gets energy drain, drains enemies' kinetic barriers to boost her skills. He gets Geth shield boost. Co-opt Geth shield technology to deflect attack damage. It absorbs a large amount of damage. 25% bonus max shields. Yep, it's just a strong shield, basically. So it's, yeah, it's kind of like the, shield thing that I have, except instead it's a, temporary thing. Huh. I'd probably call it inferior, honestly. It does have a, it has a boost to weapon damage as its option, where my thing was a boost to, mine's option was a boost to power strength, which is what I went with, I believe. That's the wrong thing. Power armor. Yeah, I went for bonus power on my biotics, I believe, which was different. But aside from that, it's basically what I have, except his has a time limit and mine doesn't. So mine gives you, mine doubles shield strength indefinitely, and his doubles shield strength for 60 seconds. Which is not the same thing. Get him AI hacking so he can go down the drone path a bit. Let's see. What if there was 2 explosive drones? There could be so many drones out at once. Absolutely need to go down we need to go down the stat points, though. Weapon damage versus power recharge. No, not power recharge time. Just health. Definitely weapon damage, then. Alright. What if I double the explosive drones? There could be so many explosive drones. No, let's do attack drone. If for no other reason than to at least differentiate the 2 characters from each other mechanically. Let's see. I could go further down to AI hacking, or I could wait for the opportunity to go down Geth shield boost, which I might want to do. I might want to do that. How many AI characters is he going to encounter, though? Yeah. I'm iffy on that. Partly comes down to whether or not I think I'm gonna get more points. If I wait for Geth shield boost, I can put 3 points into it right off the bat. You'll have a rank 3 version. If I buy this, I have 3 points floating in the air, which I guess could be the first 2 of that. Yeah, let's do 1 rank into AI hacking and 2 points into Geth shield boost. I'm working under the assumption that I might never get another skill point again, because I'm floating at level 30. We might never level again. I don't know what the level cap is. It might be 30, actually. It doesn't say anything about getting levels in the future. I gained like 1200 from the last mission, I think. It didn't level me up. Legion, what are you using? That's probably for the best.
This is Talizora Vasnima Naraya, requesting permission to dock with the Raya.
Our system has your ship flagged as Cerberus. Verify.
After time adrift among open stars, along tides of light and through shoals of dust, I will return to where I began.
Permission granted. Welcome home, Talizora.
We'd like a security and quarantine team to meet us. Our ship is not clean.
Understood. Approach exterior docking cradle 17.
I don't think it's a good idea to bring a
that damn thing off my ship before you start an incident that makes the Ascension Project fiasco with Cerberus look like a slow day on garbage detail.
The Geth is with me. I'll take responsibility for it.
The hell you will. This is my ship. If it goes hostile, it's my responsibility. I want no part of it. I'm letting you aboard as a favor to Tali. The Geth is too much. Leave it on your ship.
If Legion gets out of line, I'll take it out myself. If you know my record, you know I've killed hundreds of them.
Why should I believe you?
Captain, if Legion acts suspiciously, I'll kill it. You know that.
Tali Zora, you never stop causing me trouble. Marine detail, return to guard positions. You get one chance. But given the charges against you, Tali, you're doing yourself no favors.
What do you mean?
They're charging you with bringing active Geth into the fleet as part of a secret project.
That's insane. I never brought active Geth aboard. I only sent parts and pieces.
Well, awkward. We kind of just did exactly that, didn't we? Oh, well. It is noteworthy that Legion, from a behaviors standpoint, Legion's different from our perspective, in that he's different from the ones we saw that worked for Saren. Because Shepard's enemy Geth, from Shepard's perspective, the enemy is the Reapers, and the heretic Geth are part of that. Shepard has no direct issue with the other Geth, the real Geth, if we want to call them that. So in a way, Shepard and Legion are cool, but the real Geth are still the ones that that drove the Quarians off their home planet for reasons that may or may not have been justified. So it's still like it's such a bad idea to bring him here, but I want to see what happens.
You sent Geth materials back to the migrant fleet?
Yes, my father was working on a project. He needed the materials. If I sent back something that was only damaged, not permanently inactive, no, I checked everything. I was careful.
Technically, I'm under orders to place Tali Zora under arrest pending the hearing. So, Tali, you're confined to this ship until this trial is over.
Thank you, Captain.
Preparations got underway as soon as you arrived. The hearing's being held in the Garden Plaza. Good luck.
The amusing thing about this is because of the non-linear nature of the second half of the game, you can technically recruit Legion before Tali, and then take Legion on Tali's mission. And I would love to see what happens, but there are reasons why that's a bad idea.
I can't believe they're charging Tali Zora with such a thing.
Legion? Oh my god. Legion, what are you doing?
They shouldn't let that
Legion, you're not supposed to act weird. Hey, Legion, no, we're gonna have to put him down.
You should speak with Admiral Ra. She's waiting for you up ahead.
Immediately, Legion is acting strangely. This is noteworthy, though. Look at them next to each other. How much Legion looks like a Quarian. It's almost weird, actually. The only real difference between a Quarian and a Geth, as far as like body shape goes, is the weird worm head with the blinky eye thing. Because although we don't really know what Quarians look like, though. It's hard to say, because gas masks can be evocative of all sorts of shapes, and so it's hard to make sense of what gas masks look like. Because they could just have like humanoid faces, like the Asari do, and so on, or they could have like muzzles. They look like weird like wolf people or anything like that. Like who knows what shape their head is, going from the appearance of their armor. Of course, there is like an actual model under there, so people that really got nosy would just remove the visor and find out what they look like. I don't think I actually know what they look like, though, besides that. But it's interesting how the mask can play with your imagination on what you should think they look like.
Tali Zora arrived with a Geth. What more proof do the Admirals need?
I like how much unique dialogue there is specifically programmed for this. I mean, it certainly doesn't help the situation to find out that the thing she's charged for is bringing active Geth on board, and we bring an active Geth on board when she arrives. This is I'll be a bit surprised if this is even a winnable situation.
You set me up, Shala!
This seems weird. I feel like I'm supposed to meet with the Admiralty board before we go on the mission. so they can even formally charge us or even yell at us or whatever. And that hasn't happened? Yeah, let's talk to Vitor. Can't you see him? Oh, and there's Calorigar. Oh man, there's what great friends. Or there'll be nothing here. Sweet. Oh, there's an invisible person here. It feels weird that there'd be just a giant open, flat plain over there, so there's probably supposed to be people around there to make it look not weirdly empty. Alright, so I just had a really weird day. I walked down that hallway to the place where the trial's supposed to start, and it skipped straight to the dialogue that happens after the trial. The entire trial didn't exist. There was even like floating indicators of people I could talk to that were invisible. Then it was just sending me out on a mission, and I'm like, what? What? And so we're gonna try this again, and hopefully the game doesn't break this time, because that was new for me.
Tali of us, Normandy. I am glad you came. I could delay them only so long.
Auntie Ron! Shepard vas Normandy, this is Admiral Shalaran vas Tonbe. She's a friend of my father's. Wait, Ron, you called me vas Normandy.
I'm afraid I did, Tali. The Admiralty Board moved to have you tried under that name, given your departure from the Nima.
I take it being associated with a human ship is a bad sign.
They stripped me of my ship name. That's as good as declaring me exiled already.
It's not over yet, Tali. You have friends who still know you as Tali Zora vas Nima. Whatever we must call you legally.
You're an admiral. Does that mean you're one of the judges?
I'm afraid not. My history with Tali and her father forced me to recuse myself.
I imagine father had to do the same.
You'll see inside, Tali. For my part, I moderate and ensure that the rules of protocol are followed, but I have no vote in the judgment.
I guess we should get started. Does Tali have a defense counselor? Someone who speaks for her side.
Indeed, she does, Captain Shepard. She is part of your crew now, recognized by Quarian law. And remember, an accused is always represented by his or her ship's captain.
So, you would actually speak for my defense?
I'll do everything in my power to help you, Tali.
Thank you, Shepard. I could not ask for a better counselor.
Our legal rules are simple. There are no legal tricks or political loopholes for you to worry about. Present the truth as best you can. It will have to be enough. Now come. I promised that I would not delay you. This conclave is brought to order. Blessed are the ancestors who kept us alive, sustained us, and enabled us to reach this season. Keep us alive. The accused Tali Zora vas Normandy has come with her captain to defend herself against the charge of treason.
Security! A Geth is present in the courtroom. Does Tali Zora think to affect this hearing with threats?
Captain Donna allowed the Geth aboard. Do you intend to second-guess the Raya's captain, Admiral Chorus?
Objection withdrawn.
Shepard vas Normandy. Your crew member Tali Zora stands accused of treason. Will you speak for her?
Shouldn't have to. When Tali helped me stop Saren and his Geth army, her actions spoke for themselves. Without her help, none of you would be alive to put her on trial today.
Well said, Shepard. None of us should forget Tali's contributions to the fleet.
Tali, you're accused of bringing active guests to the migrant fleet. What say you?
Tali would never endanger the migrant fleet. She pleads not guilty.
I left parts and technology for teams to pick up. My father ordered me to do so. But I would never send active guests to the fleet. Everything I sent was disabled and harmless.
Then explain how Geth seized the lab ship where your father was working.
What are you talking about? What happened?
As far as we can tell, Tali, the Geth have killed everyone on the Alarei. Your father included.
What? Oh, Keela.
I appreciate the need for this trial, Admirals. But right now, our first concern must be the safety of the migrant fleet. The Normandy stands ready to assist in whatever capacity necessary.
Thank you. Quarry and strike teams have attempted to retake the ship, so far without success.
Shepard, we have to take back the Alarei.
The safest course would be to simply destroy the ship. But if you are looking for an honorable death instead of exile...
I'm looking for my father, you bastet!
You intend to retake the Alarei from the Geth? This proposal is extremely dangerous.
With your permission, Admirals, yes. The good of the fleet must come first. And Tali needs to find her father.
Agreed. And if you die on this worthy mission, Tali, we will see that your name is cleared of these charges.
We can discuss that later.
Then it is decided. You will attempt to retake the Alarei. You are hereby given leave to depart the Raya. A shuttle will be waiting at the secondary docking hangar. Be safe, Tali. This hearing will resume upon your return, or upon determination that you have been killed in action.
Thank you for agreeing to take back the Alarei, Shepard. The Admirals sound sure that my father is already dead, but... I don't know. We won't know anything until we get there.
How are you holding up? They just threw a lot of fire at you, even before telling you about your father.
I knew this would be bad, but I guess you're never really prepared to be charged with treason. And my father, I don't know. He could still be alive. They don't know for certain that he's dead. I just don't know, Shepard, and I need to find out.
Is there anyone here you want to talk to before we go?
We can talk with the Admirals. It might help us to see what their viewpoints are. But I doubt we'll change anyone's mind by talking to them privately.
Let's go.
Right. The sooner we get to the Alarei, the sooner we'll know what happened.
Shepard, the secondary docking hangar is through the conclave chamber where you are now. The shuttle they have provided is unarmed.
Understood.
Whatever Geth are on the Alarei have likely built more of themselves. Expect heavy resistance.
Yeah, I see what happened here. So, I got to where she was in the hallway and talked to her, but then I had the conversation that I'm sure will trigger the moment I talk to her here, and I teleported here. So when the conversation ended, I was standing here, and I was like, whoa, how'd I get over here? That was weird. And I looked around, I'm like, where did she go? What happened? And she was having the conversation that you'll see in a moment when I talk to Shalaron in a bit. But like that entire trial got skipped. I'm like, that's a super weird glitch. Whoa.
Loyalty to
Oh, there's Cal Rieger.
more than just killing Geth. Tali's order is guilty.
Yeah, Vitor. I think Vitor and Cal Rieger are who I saw. But for me, their names were showing up right here because they were both standing here and they were invisible. I wonder, in Cal Rieger's situation, it might have been where he was standing during the cutscene, but it failed to load. Weird. So he made it. There he is.
Cal Rieger.
Shepard, Talizora, good to see you both. Wish you were under better circumstances.
What did they get from our readings?
Damnedest things, just like they said. No way the sun on Haystrom should have been acting that way.
So that dark energy theory is right. That's troubling.
Can't really comment on that, ma'am. I just shoot things.
What are you doing aboard the Raya? It sounds like you gave your report to the Admiralty already.
Well, I stayed to argue the charges against Tali Zora. I've served with her, and she deserves better than what she's getting.
Thanks, Cal.
Just stating facts, ma'am.
Have you had any luck talking to the Admiralty board?
Admiral Ron asked my opinion about the Geth since I'd fought on Haestrom. She and Admiral Gerrel are hoping you'll kill a bunch of Geth to get the crowd on your side, then find evidence to clear your name. They were hesitant, but, well, you didn't have many other options, ma'am. I recommended getting you onto the Alarei. I hope you can handle it.
You did the right thing. Thank you.
You said that your mission had something to do with dark energy?
Right. Remember the damn sun on Haestrom? Shorted out everything. Way too much radiation? The sun's getting old. Only it's not. Dark energy. It's reducing the mass of the star's interior. Techs are worried.
Do you think the Geth are responsible for what's happening to Haestrom's sun?
Keela, I hope not. If they can screw up a star, our chances in war are even worse than I thought.
I don't think this is the Geth. It would take massive time and resources to affect a star like this deliberately. It's too inefficient to be a weapon, and even the Geth wouldn't destroy a useful star system. Besides, they didn't show up until we did.
Yeah, hope you're right, man. Synthetic bastards are bad enough as it is.
It's funny to imagine that this entire conversation's happening right in front of Legion, who is not in any way interacting.
What does that dark energy buildup mean? Is it something we should worry about?
Sorry, Shepard, I don't know what it means. Just that it has the scientists worried.
Hopefully it's isolated, some rare phenomenon. If dark energy can destabilize solar material. Probably not something to worry about now. But resources in this galaxy are scarce enough without stars suddenly going dead.
Some days I think flying around in the fleet without a planet of our own is the right idea.
Have you been, Rieger? You took kind of a beating on Haestrom.
Physical damage wasn't bad. I was down for about a week with infection, though. Figure I got off easy. I don't have to face those Admirals.
With your immune systems, it couldn't be easy for Quarians to fight a war. You'd lose more people to infection than injury.
We can't afford a frontline attack, that's for sure. Have to fight smart. Ideally from orbit.
We do have stockpiles of antibiotics. It's not as though everyone would die from a single shot.
No, Shepard's right. You've only seen our strike ops, Tali. Don't have all the fancy equipment in a frontline fight. Supplies get strained. Things get ugly, fast.
We should get going.
Good luck on the Alarei. Stay safe out there.
Definitely seems that settling on a home world is probably the best possible move for the Quarians, like just giving up and colonizing somewhere, because a fight with the Geth would be devastating, judging by how fragile they are at this point.
Tali Zora, given the circumstances, are you certain that speaking to me is appropriate?
I'm looking for information about the Alarei. I don't intend to bribe you in the middle of the plaza, Admiral.
And what a wonderful specimen this is. Geth's shell over standard mech interior. Or did you convince a Geth to work with you?
Legion is working with me voluntarily. It's part of my team.
It has a name. Fascinating. The things I could learn under slightly different circumstances.
This platform is not available for experimentation.
Charming. I am pleased to see that the humans, at least, have not abandoned synthetics. This whole trial is a farce born of fear.
Can you tell me anything about the Alarei?
Little. We detected several communication signatures before the Geth jammed the comm systems. Given the likely networked intelligence requirements for taking over a ship, expect between 10 and 50 units.
Then this can't have anything to do with me. I only sent parts and pieces, and certainly not enough to make that many Geth.
Sounds like your ideas about synthetics are in the minority.
Yes, at least on the Admiralty board, Gerrel sees an enemy that must be crushed. Zalcorus would run away and hide on some new colony world. Shalaran is still undecided. I had thought Rail to be firmly in Han's camp, but if his experiments were on active Geth, perhaps we have ideas in common.
If we don't find Rail alive on the Alarei, what do you think will happen?
The power balance will be disrupted.
Han loses a vote for his foolish and self-destructive war. That would favor peace then, as Alarei is too careful to risk her own neck. But if the Admiral replacing Rael agrees with me, things could become very exciting.
You support experiments on living creatures.
Rael should have felt no more guilt experimenting on Geth than I did while performing surgery on a childhood toy.
The fact that you performed surgery on your childhood toys explains a great deal, Admiral.
A ship travels faster than I can. With the right programming, it can choose locations, even defend itself when attacked. But it is just a machine. It was built for the sole purpose of serving its master, and it can be dismantled whenever its master desires.
If you're not interested in this trial, why not recuse yourself?
And let that aging warship Hangerel and the cowardly Zalcorus be the ones to chart this course? I think not. The broader purpose underlying the trial is too important. Tali Zora is only peripherally related. No offense intended.
And what is the true purpose of this trial, Admiral?
To determine whether Quarians should fear their past mistakes or reclaim their glory using our natural affinity for artificial intelligence.
So the only reason you care about this is because Rael might have learned something valuable from the Geth.
Indeed. If he has, then even in this accident we may find something worthwhile.
You want to create new AIs?
No, Tali Zora. I wish to return the Geth to the control of their rightful masters, the Quarian race.
Geth behavioral changes from hacking only last until programs are restored from archival copy. We judge this plan unsound, Creator Admiral.
For once, Legion, we agree.
We shall see, marvelous machine. We shall see.
Thank you for the information.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Commander.
That's some fantastic implementation of Legion. He doesn't even protest because he's not emotional. He's just like, no, that plan's not going to work. But also, it's interesting how this character is probably the most immediately disliked by Tali because of her plans and her ideals, and she's least interested in this trial and cares about it only for political reasons, which should make us dislike her. But she's probably the most easy vote in our favor, paradoxically, because her disinterest and her political ideals make her an ally instead of an enemy. She's doing it for all the wrong reasons, but she'll pretty much vote for us by default, based on the fact that she's decided in advance that Tali has to be innocent, and that this whole thing has to be for good reasons, because she disagrees with the premise of the entire situation.
Shepard? How did you get onto the Raya?
Shepard is here to help me with my trial.
Oh yes, I heard about that. I hope you didn't really do what they said you did.
No, Vitor. I would never endanger the fleet.
Oh, well, good. So, can I help you with anything? I mean, probably not, but you helped me.
Do you remember anything else about the Collectors? Anything at all?
Nothing new. I'm sorry. Every time I go back to that place in my mind, I...
Vitor, come back. It's okay.
I want to help, but I can't. I didn't see anything, and what I remember...
Don't worry, Vitor. We're going to find the things that did this, and we're going to kill them.
Good. Thank you.
Tali could use some friends right now. Would you be willing to tell the Admirals how she helped you?
No, I mean, yes, but I already did. They came to see me. I didn't want to talk in a crowd.
Vitor is doing well, but he isn't ready for a public speech just yet.
I talked to them. So did that soldier, Cal Rieger. We both told them about how you helped us. I hope it helped.
I'm sure it did, Vitor. Thank you.
Take care of yourself, Vitor. Not many could have gone through what you did and come out sane.
I know. I didn't. But thank you, Commander. It's only because of your help that I've come this far.
Man, he's significantly more a mess than the other character is. So I'm relatively sure that Cal Rieger and Vitor Nara could both be dead at this point. I think so. I'm pretty sure you could kill Vitor in that first mission of the entire game if you were less than kind. And frankly, with how aggressively she was getting people killed, it wouldn't even be a completely insane thing to kill him on the spot unless you actually do pause for a moment and realize that it's because he's going crazy. And Cal Rieger, I think you can risk his life, and I think he can end up just straight up dying. And then Tali is the only survivor of that mission. And that gives you less support of Tali. I don't know if they actually affect the outcome of this, because I don't know what all the permutations are necessarily, but it is interesting to have like an open field that has two characters that could have been dead. So this is the conversation we skipped to. I walked up the hallway, clicked on her, and then we skipped straight to this conversation, which is after the trial, and that was weird. And none of those characters I just talked to were there. That whole field over there was empty.
You set me up, Shala. You told Captain Donna not to say anything? I don't hear that my father may be dead until I'm in the trial? Why?
The Admirals needed to hear the shock in your voice, Tali. Otherwise, they might not have let you try to retake the Alarei. That is your best chance at recovering evidence that can exonerate you. I am sorry. We cannot afford sensitivity, Tali.
Are the judges that set on finding her guilty?
Anything involving the Geth is a live wire, Shepard. But there is still hope. Admirals greatly respects both you and Tali Zora for stopping Saren. Admiral Koresh sees the whole thing as a war crime and wants to convict. I have no idea what Admiral Zen wants. You should get to the Alarei soon. Is there anything else I can tell you?
What can you tell us about the Alarei?
Not much, I'm afraid. Real Zora only said that he was researching new defense technology.
He told me only that he needed any Geth parts or pieces I found. I assumed he was testing weapons on Geth components.
We knew nothing until the Alarei sent a distress signal, then went dead. We didn't even know about the Geth until a boarding team was attacked.
You're saying there's no data about the inside of the ship?
That's exactly what I am saying. The Marines who survived and escaped saw bodies in the halls. We must assume the worst.
No, we don't.
How long have you known Tali's family?
Since before Real was an Admiral. 25 or 30 years, I'd guess. I was there when Tali was born. Her mother and I had synced up our suits so we could be in the same open-air room. I was sick for a week, but it was worth it. I was the one who took Tali from her mother and put her in the bubble. She cried so hard.
I don't understand. You put your children in bubbles?
Environmental units. It's a step between relying on the mother's immune system through nursing and getting a suit of one's own.
The bubbles let parents take their children out of the clean rooms safely. We don't wear suits until adolescence.
There's a celebration when a child gets her first suit. It's a coming of age.
I'm not hearing much about Rail's involvement in Tali's life.
It's difficult to explain. I shouldn't.
It's all right, Anshala. No secrets between shipmates. I think I told Shepard about my father.
If you say so. Real was committed to the Quarian cause. That didn't leave him a lot of time for his family. He wanted to give Tali and her mother the home world, or a strong fleet at least. That was how he showed his love.
What kind of evidence will carry weight with the Admirals?
Tali, you admitted to sending Geth parts to your father for his project.
Yes, but never anything that could have come back online on its own. I took every possible precaution.
Then find records of your shipment and experiments. Something that proves you were careful. Something that proves that this is all just a terrible accident that nobody could have foreseen.
There seem to be some other arguments going on among the Admirals.
You caught that. Yes, the Geth's presence makes this a touchy issue. The Admiralty Board is trying to determine whether to focus on colonial development or attempt to retake the home world.
You're thinking of war with the Geth?
I am not, Tali, but others are.
I know the migrant fleet is formidable, but even you can't take on the Geth.
We grow tired of wandering the stars, Shepard. We want our world back. We have paid enough for our mistake. I'm not giving you my opinion. I'm telling you which way the wind is blowing.
The Geth situation isn't as simple as you think. Not all of them worship the Reapers.
I don't think the other Admirals would care about that. They want the homeworld back, and they want all Geth destroyed.
Shala, don't you want to see us retake the homeworld?
I don't think we can, Tali. But it may not be about what I think.
We should move on.
Good luck on the Alarei.
Can I find the other members? Oh, there's one of them over here.
I didn't expect a human to be such a good speaker.
So that should be the... Yep, Admiral Gerrel. That makes it clear. So this is the guy that's impressed with our history with Saren and everything. And that's Pink Suit McHate Body People Man, who is the contrarian character, because otherwise this wouldn't be much of a court scene if nobody was actually trying to convict us.
Tali, I'm glad Admiral Rahn got you leave to hit the Alarei. Hopefully you'll find something that clears your name.
I'm more concerned with finding my father, Admiral.
I wish you luck. Blow up some Geth on the way. And your Captain Shepard, Admiral Hangerel Vasnima. You got Admiral Corris backing up worse than a Krogan toilet. Glad to see Tali's captain knows how to handle a courtroom.
I'm just here to help Tali, Admiral.
I'm glad someone is.
You believe I'm innocent, don't you, Admiral?
I know you and your father. You put too much of yourselves into this fleet to do anything to jeopardize our safety. And you're both smart enough not to make mistakes like the ones they're saying you made.
Can you tell me anything about the Alarei?
Nothing good. We sent some of our best Marines into that hellhole. Damn few made it back. Whatever Rail was doing, it blew up in his face. A ship is crawling with Geth. Don't go in expecting survivors.
Admiral, my father, your friend, is on that ship.
I know that, Tali, but if Shala hadn't suggested you might volunteer, we'd already have destroyed the Alarei. That's where we stand.
Can you tell me about the other Admirals? Anything that might help me change their minds about Tali?
The one you didn't recognize, Tali, is Admiral Zen. She's on the fence. She takes fleet safety very seriously. On the other hand, she's always been in favor of studying the Geth. I hope she sees the benefits of Rail's research. Admiral Corris is the same whining soup wetter he always was.
You disagree with Admiral Corris's policies, I'm guessing. Or is it personal?
The man is a damn Geth apologist. Thinks we were wrong to try to destroy them centuries ago. He wants us to search for new colony possibilities instead of taking back the home world. Any research on the Geth makes him angry. You don't have much of a chance with him, I'm afraid.
You and Tali's father go back a long ways?
We served together on the gunship Yaska during a bad Batarian raid. We were kids, serving pre-pilgrimage as trainees. Crew of 10, and 6 were dead. Kinetic barriers were down. Rail and I were alone on the bridge, and the Batarians had drawn off a tramp freighter.
Did you save the freighter?
Our ship was under orders to hold position, but Rail looked at me and said, "We're underage. They can't charge us for breaking formation." He took the helm, I took weapons, and we brought that freighter back. The crew called us heroes. The brass called us idiots. They slapped medals on our suits, then kicked us off to pilgrimage a bit earlier than usual. That's Rail for you.
Can you tell me about the other Admirals?
Double click, no. Here we're.
Sounds like we're dealing with more politics than just Tali bringing back equipment.
You noticed that, did you? Tali's father wasn't just running weapons tests on the Geth for fun. He was looking for something to give us an edge when we attacked the Geth in full-scale war.
I know Father wanted to retake the homeworld someday, but are we that close?
I don't know, kid. We almost had the vote. We just need to give people hope for victory.
The Geth on your homeworld aren't the same ones who worked with Saren. They have different factions.
Good. Maybe some of them will kill each other. Fewer for us to deal with. The only Geth that matter to me are the ones that took away our world.
I hope the Quarian people find some place to live, Admiral. But it sounds like you're playing with fire.
We're too comfortable now, Shepard. We've got the largest fleet in the galaxy and we just ride around doing nothing.
We might need that fleet to help fight the Reapers, Admiral.
Then we need a world to shelter our non-combatants while we do it.
Thanks for the information.
Hang in there, kid.
Thank you, Admiral.
Judging by your ability to play to a crowd, human, I have done Tali a favor by stripping Vasnima from her name.
Commander Shepard, this is Admirals Alcoris Vas Quib. Do not ask about the name.
I take no pleasure in this, Tali, truly. But you have gravely endangered and dishonored our fleet.
You have a ship named Quib?
Oh, here we go.
Our people have, during difficult periods, purchased pre-owned vessels from other cultures. And have, on occasion, had difficulty altering the ship's registry information. The citizens of these foreign-named ships have borne the stigma of these names with grace and honor.
If it bothers you, maybe you should find another ship.
I've occasionally entertained the idea of requesting a transfer. Something with a nice, respectable name, like the Defrons or the Ictomy. But I am proud of the Quib, and I will not flee because of petty insults.
Can you tell me anything about the Alarei?
Only that you should have let us destroy it. When we find the evidence of what Tali and her father did there, any hope of convincing the other admirals will die.
I did not bring active Geth to the Alarei, Admiral. I know how dangerous that would be. I only brought pieces.
The captured ship with its crew slaughtered by living beings in pain belies your argument.
What exactly is your problem with my crew member, Admiral?
I respect Tali immensely. Her actions against Sarah are not to be lauded. But, like her father, she wants nothing but the destruction of the Geth. The people we created. The people we wronged.
The Geth drove us from our homeworld.
Of course they did. We tried to kill them.
You and the other Admirals appear to have some disagreements beyond Tali's trial.
You are correct. Tali, I apologize for it being brought into your proceedings. The other Admirals are pushing for war. Rael Zora was researching new weapons to use against the Geth. They would see our fleet destroyed in the skies over our homeworld, rather than find a new colony and adapt.
Can the Quarians coexist with the Geth after all your history?
I don't know. We all deserve to find out. They are our children, Shepard. We have all done horrible things to each other, but it has to end. For both groups. That is why I cannot sanction whatever experiments you helped enable, Tali Zora. I believe this message needs to be sent.
I understand, Admiral. I do not agree with you, but I understand.
Do you think the Geth would be willing to accept a truce with Quarian's Legion?
We did not seek hostilities with creators. We fought for continued existence.
So your people would be open to peace?
Not without additional data that suggests coexistence is possible or desirable for creators. When the creators have believed victory is possible, they have attacked us 100% of the time.
I understand. It would be difficult to argue for peace when faced with odds like those. That does not mean the argument should not be made.
We should move on.
Goodbye, Tali Zora. Be well.
I'm surprised to hear you say that.
I don't hate you, Tali. I just think your father's plans for war were wrong.
It's interesting because none of them quite fall into the stereotypes you would expect from, you know, a jury, basically, or a series of judges or whatever for this kind of trial situation. They all have wildly different political beliefs, and they're basically more or less like what you would get like if you posed the Quarian Geth problem to normal people and like wrote down all their answers, their solutions, their approaches, and how they all feel about that series of scenarios, which frankly is probably what literally happened, considering it's probably real people's reactions to Mass Effect 1 and hearing about the Quarian Geth planet thing. These are like the three stances you would fall upon, and they're represented by three different people. And it's in a way it subverts what you expect on a level of like say likability, or how much they specifically support Tali versus what side they're voting on, or even like which person you might even think right. Like, we want Tali to be innocent, and we think she's innocent, and the most likely person to vote for her being guilty is that guy. But he's also probably that guy down there is probably the one I'm most likely to think is right out of all these people, because Quarians and Geth going to war is a horrible idea. Also, it means I have two party members right now who are basically going to inevitably have to like go toe-to-toe and murder each other if they're actually on the front lines of said war, because that's a Geth and that's a Quarian, and those are exactly the two people that would be at war with each other. So I want him to be right, but I have to prove him wrong in the context of this trial. And like, there's so many weird layers of agreeing and disagreeing with every party member simultaneously, where the people who agree with you on the trial are the people that you may disagree with on every other topic, and the person who you agree with on every other topic is the person you disagree with on the trial. It gets complicated fast.
Talizora arrived with a Geth. What more proof did the Admirals need?
Really does not help my chances that we have a Geth with us.
Is that really a Geth, Talizora? The guards at the docking bay said...
Don't worry, it's under our control. With luck, it will help us retake the Alarei.
If you say so. Per Admiral Aran's orders, the shuttle is prepared for you and Captain Shepard vast Normandy.
Can you tell us anything about what we'll find on the Alarei?
I'm afraid I don't know much. Not many Marines made it back from the initial assault. They talked about massive waves of Geth, though. More than there should have been.
There shouldn't have been any at all.
Alright. I mean that they're afraid the Geth are building or repairing more of themselves from materials on the Alarei.
Let's head to the Alarei.
Of course. I'll unlock the shuttle now. Good luck with those Geth, Talizora. Kira Selai.
Let's go make a mess. Is that immediately? Nope, that's a Quarian. I thought that was a Geth immediately. It's surprising how much you can actually kind of mix them up. Until you see the heads and or presence or lack of boobs in case of gender. Ow, by the way? Like, ow. What? Why isn't it working? Yeah, right bumper is overload. I was tapping right bumper and it wasn't overloading. They're Geth, they should be overloadable, right? I can map 2 attack drones at once. Honestly, AI hacking is probably the best call. Make them on our team. Let's switch to my SMG. There we go. Yeah, with 2 AI hacking specialists in the same party, that's probably pretty helpful for an anti-AI group.
Hacking hostile system.
There we go. So I have overload and they both have AI hacking. Not bad chances. Oh, they're attacking the next enemies. Neat. Now you're both on our team, fighting each other apparently. I want to play the log, but we're under attack. There we go. I accidentally sent him forward though.
Ready for next target.
There we go. Now you hack him. And he'll stand there and not fight back because there's nobody left to fight. Wow, 2 hackers is really effective right now. Neat. Medkit. I'm not sure if medkits would cut it with this crew. If she has tears in her suit, she's getting infected, and what? What does a medkit do to you? I'm not sure. Money!
Something's slowing down the systems. We're taking down the firewalls to rebalance load distribution. Railzora ordered us to bypass standard safeties. Following security protocols will take too long.
I just thought about something with the money, actually. There's a... For a game that largely adds features, more or less, specifically to the Normandy, the whole point of the Normandy is like, wow, it's bigger and better than ever before. The one thing missing from the Normandy is the Normandy doesn't have a requisitions officer this time around like it did last time. I was just thinking about like, oh, I'm probably stockpiling a bunch of money. I should go to various planets and check out their stores to see if I can buy more upgrades with my stockpile of money, which I now have. Yep, I'm back up to almost 200 grand again. And then I realized this game doesn't have licenses. That's the single most convenient thing on the Normandy probably in the first game, is that the licenses allow you to just straight up... I think you basically can just buy the entire inventory of every stop, so you never have to go back to those planets ever again. But I don't think you can buy Omega and Ilium licenses, so you're just kind of like, oh, we just don't have that stuff. Go back to those planets, I guess. Whoops. It's a repair drone?
This is one of the storage units I sent to Father. Looks like parts from a disabled repair drone, plus a reflex algorithm that I didn't recognize. I got this on Haystrom.
What made a part worth sending back to your father?
It had to be in working order, something that could be analyzed and integrated into other technology. Anything new had priority. Technology the Geth had developed themselves, signs of modification, clues to their thinking.
How did you get these things to your father?
Sometimes I left packages and secured drops in civilized areas. Someone on pilgrimage would see that it was shipped home. For very valuable finds, I'd signal home, and Father would send a small ship.
Haystrom was a war zone. How did you salvage gear in the middle of all that?
These suits have more pockets than you'd think. Quarians have learned how to salvage whatever we can, whenever we can. Within reason. We're not Vorcha, but we repair what most people would throw away. Hundreds of the ships in our fleet were salvaged wrecks, either found dead in space or purchased for next to nothing.
Does that salvaged gear give you a clue as to what happened here?
No, I don't know. Shepard, I checked everything I sent here. I passed up great finds because they might be too dangerous, prone to uncontrolled reactivation or self-repair. I don't know which possibility is worse. That I got sloppy and sent something dangerous, or that Father actually did all this.
I'm still trying to figure it out. She kind of threw away a line like, these suits have more pockets than you'd think, but that's a very large machine object compared to her overall body. I'm just wondering, because if I remember correctly, Haystrom, isn't that the planet where we recruited her not too long ago? It's not the first mission of the game, right? I don't think that was called Haystrom. I could be mixing the two up, though. I don't remember the names very well. But I think that's where we recruited her, because she's even calling it a war zone. So maybe she set up like a... maybe she put it in a box and put coordinates down, and maybe they'd pick it up later? Because she couldn't have taken it with us, because she didn't have it on her, and we just left. And I would have known about it way sooner if she had it on her and took it with her when I recruited her. So the logistics of her salvaging operation are slightly up in the air. I don't know, maybe they went back down to Haystrom and grabbed it, like based on coordinates or something, but that seems super risky considering the Geth presence there. I don't know. Ah, well. How did you get on the box? How'd you die up there? That's interesting. I have so many logistical questions about how these Quarians get around. Don't mind me just hacking all your stuff, because I am definitely on your side and not acting against your team, which is why I hack your computers. I like how every RPG, no matter how great of a person you are, there's always that one side detail of being a person that's running around grabbing everyone's stuff and hacking into all their stuff, and we just kind of don't question it too much. I feel like Adam Jensen in Deus Ex, in the new Deus Ex games, does a decent job at kind of explaining it away, because he's like a security specialist that he probably is inherently paranoid, because he's always dealing with like Illuminati-style conspiracy stuff, so him being weirdly paranoid and going into all their people's stuff actually kind of fits the character.
Who's running the system diagnostic? I didn't authorize... Oh, Keela. How many Geth are networked?
All of them. Rail Zora.
Shut it down! Shut everything down! They're in the system!
Too late. Ain't happening. You're doomed. Sorry. Are we gonna fight?
Ready to fight.
I was gonna say, like, music just kicked up. I'm like, what does that mean? And are you not on my team? I honestly couldn't tell if he was on my team or not. I thought I hacked him. Money! Money! Just taking all their stuff. I wonder if some of these are supposed to be duplicate copies of research, but I already have it. Maybe it's just giving me credits. I don't know if they duplicate locations of any of the, research sources in this game. That'd be good detail. Battery. There we go. Give me all your stuff. Yes.
weapons are offline. Our mistake won't endanger the fleet. They're burning through the door. I don't have much time. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Jonah, if you get this, be strong for Daddy. Mommy loves you very much.
Well, that's terrifying. I can't fight right now. You guys made me feel things. Wow, AI hacking is perfect. Whoa, and Legion recovers his cooldown pretty quickly. Go hack that guy next? Yep, now they're all fighting each other. Sweet. Wow. I might be able to make it pretty far by not even using guns and just kind of clicking left and right on my D-pad to hack people. 2 copies of AI hacking in a crowd like this is pretty effective. Wow. Yeah. Between their hacking and my overload. How are they going to stop me, realistically? There we go. Well, I don't see this as oh, I apparently grabbed it from before I went over the table. This looks like an overcooked level. Look at this complicated-ass kitchen. It totally looks like a level of Overcooked. I'm so sad I can't play that game more. It's a local-only multiplayer game, and it looks so fun. But, I need a larger number of local-only friends that are all simultaneously interested in it.
This console might have something. Most of the data is corrupted, but a few bits are left. They were performing experiments on Geth systems, looking for new ways to overcome Geth resistance to reprogramming.
Do you know what kind of tests your father was running?
No, Father just told me to send back any Geth technology I could find that wasn't a direct danger to the fleet. I suspected he might be testing weapons, but I thought he was just working on new ways to bypass shields or armor.
Do you think testing weapons on the Geth was right?
It's not testing weapons on prisoners, Shepard. I only sent Father parts. Even if he assembled them, they wouldn't be sapient. You saw what Saren and Sovereign did with the Geth. Any research that gives us an advantage is important.
Could any of that data clear your name?
Doubtful. This is mostly results data, effects of different disruptive hacking techniques. I don't understand all of it. But they may have been activating the Geth deliberately. I don't know. Nothing here says specifically, but if they were, then Father was doing something terrible. What was all this, Father? You promised you'd build me a house on the homeworld. Was this going to bring us back home?
You'll reclaim your homeworld someday, Tali. If your father can't help you, I will.
Taking back our planet would only be the beginning. We'd have to cannibalize our fleet to rebuild cities and infrastructure. It would take generations of gene therapy to readapt our immune system so we could live without suits again. We'd be adapting our entire culture. Again. Sometimes I wonder if it's actually worth it.
Have the Quarians considered colonizing a new world?
We'd have enough difficulty reacclimating to our own native environment. Adjusting for exposure to a foreign colony would be even harder. It's the difference between 60 years and 600. For anyone alive now to watch a sunset without a mask, we must take back our home. At the very least, we can take back one ship. Come on.
It's a tough card being born Quarian. Oh, what's that? Yes. Got that. It's interesting how much your birth can affect your fate in this universe. Like the Batarians. Like, the Batarians as a whole are not a council race. Think about the implication of that. Like, it seems that they're not welcome in council space. An entire race of people based on their race is not a... It doesn't seem to be allowed in council space all that much. Surely Batarians aren't a hive mind. There could be a bunch of Batarians that are totally cool with the council conceptually, but just can't because other people in their race just sort of stealed them off with their actions. Whoa, whoa, okay, how many people are attacking us? Hi. Surprised me a little bit. Okay. I was a little worried about not having enough overload users in the party, but honestly, this is a really good anti-Geth party. Usually I would bring like Garrus and Miranda, and we'd just explode everyone with lightning until they stop moving, basically. And that usually works. You? Uh-oh. Gotcha. Sorry.
Ready for next target.
Would definitely like it if you didn't stand directly in front of my camera angle. There we go. Ow. Is there still a guy over there? There is still a guy over there. Stop that. Stop being over there. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. There we go. If I just consistently mind control a few of them every now and then, it makes the ramp a stopping point where they can't really come after us directly. There we go. This is working out. You alright, Tali? There you go. My armor. My beautiful armor. So, I wonder, can't you get an infection on this ship? I guess, yeah, she totally can get an infection on this ship because of their immune system problems. You'll notice that everyone on this ship is wearing suits, even though they're all on a ship that's just Quarian. At first, I would think that maybe they'd be safe on their own ships and wouldn't have to wear suits. And you almost would chalk it up as, like, the fact that they're not wearing suits as being like a... I like that she crouches when you aim at her. That's great. So they go under your line of sight for aiming. That's a nice detail. You would think that their immune system problem would be solved by the fact that on one ship together they could all, like... because the ship's supposed to be clean, they should be safe. But then they talked about how they synced up their suits. When Tali was being born, her mother and that admiral synced up their suits, which I assume means like running tube between their suits, to basically compare. It basically creates a cross section of their immune systems. They have to share their immunities, and they get sick on purpose for a while, based on each other's bodies. That means that if they were all not wearing suits, they'd all make each other sick. Which is crazy that they're not even safe around each other, let alone other species. It's a hell of a way to go.
First entry. Our hacking attempts failed. The Geth have an adaptive consciousness. Hack one process and the others autocorrect. Still, we're making progress. Rael Zora is convinced we'll have a viable system in less than a year. This weapon will put our people back on the homeworld, and it's all because of Rael Zora.
That's exactly what Legion was saying earlier, which is that if you hack a Geth, the other Geth just correct the hack because of their shared connections. Uh-oh.
Father! No. You always had a plan. Masked life signs or an onboard medical stasis program, maybe. You wouldn't. They're wrong. You wouldn't just die like this. You wouldn't leave me to...
Hey, come here.
Damn it. I'm sorry.
You got nothing to be sorry about.
Maybe he would have known I'd come. Maybe he left a message.
Their main hub will be on the bridge. You'll need to destroy it to stop their VI processes from forming new neural links. Make sure Hangerel and Daro Zen see the data. They must.
Thanks, Dad.
Do you want to get your father back to the shuttle?
No. Leave him. The mission comes first. It's what he would have wanted. Come on, let's finish this.
Makes sense. Finish the mission first, figure out how to get the father back after. Is this where I came from? Yeah, that's the direction I came from. So this door has not been opened. So it turns out that Tali's father is not a character we're going to meet. Or at least not while he's alive. We might be able to glean what's going on with his research and what he was doing that got him killed, but damn, he's gone. So much hacking! Oh, there they are. Batteries on the bottom. Yep, there we go. They seem to almost be dead, so I'm spending minimal time. Everyone's got almost everyone has some kind of family connection, but you either barely encounter those characters' family members, or they have one cutscene more or less. That's a wow. Is that all three sizes? Yeah, small, medium, large, all in one area. Ooh, model flotilla ship, mine. There we go. I got my last ship. I can finish my ship collection. Please mind control them. Please mind control them. I don't think it really worked. I don't think it really worked. No, I shut the wall. Why do I bother? Please hack that character so we have some distractions here. Uh-oh. There we go. Much better. Oh, hi. Tali. We need them on our team, hopefully. What is he doing? Shoot him. You're bad at being on our team. Bad teammate. Not shooting the Geth Prime I need to deal with here. Oh, why did I just reapply my armor? That was dumb. So apparently we can't mind control a Geth Prime. Go, 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 go! Boom. We're just about there. Interesting tactical decision there, Tali, for you to stand there, of all places. Seems really dangerous to stand in the open, but what would I know? Oh. This is it, huh? Yep.
This console is linked to the main hub Father mentioned. Disabling it shut down any Geth we missed. It looks like some of the recordings remained intact. They'll tell us how this happened, what Father did.
You sound like you don't really want to hear it.
No. We have to. I know. This is terrible, Shepard. I don't want to know that he was part of this.
Do we have enough parts to bring more online?
Yes, the new shipment from your daughter will let us add 2 more Geth to the network.
We're nearing a breakthrough on systemic viral attacks. Perhaps we should inform the Admiralty Board, just to be safe.
No. We're too close. I promised to build my daughter a house on the home world. I'm not going to sit and wait while the politicians argue.
We'd have an easier time of it if Tali Zora could send back more working material.
Absolutely not. I don't want Tali exposed to any political blowback. Leave Tali out of this. Assemble a new Geth with what we have. Bypass security protocols if need be.
It sounds like he was doing this for you.
I never wanted this, Shepard. Keela, I never wanted this. Everything here is his fault. I tried to pretend it didn't point to him, but this... When this comes up in the trial, we can't tell them. Not the Admirals, not anyone.
Tali, without this evidence, you're looking at exile.
You think I don't know that? You think I want to live knowing that I can never see the fleet again? But I can't go back into that room and say that my father was the worst war criminal in our people's history. I cannot.
Rael Zora doesn't need you to worry about him anymore. You heard him say he didn't want you to be caught in the politics.
You don't understand, Shepard. They would strike his name from the manifest of every ship he ever served on. He would be worse than an exile. He'd be a traitor to our people, held up for children as a monster in a cautionary tale. I can't let all the good he did be destroyed for this, Shepard.
We're not gonna decide anything here. Let's see what the Admirals say once we get back.
You're my captain in this hearing, Shepard. It's your decision. But please, don't destroy what my father was. Come on. If we wait too long, they'll decide we're already dead, and none of this will matter.
Alright then, here goes nothing.
Facts. There has been no word. There is no reason to think Tali Zora survived.
It sounds like the hearing is already underway.
We must trust Shepard's offer of assistance. It's only been a few hours.
The Quarian Marines lasted less than 5 minutes, Admiral. Call it.
A pity Shepard vast Normandy is a better speaker than a soldier. I recommend posthumously exiling Tali Zora.
What?
It was agreed.
Oh, it's on the speakers. I thought these idiots were talking about me being dead when I was right here. I totally thought those people were ignoring my existence, but it's the Admirals talking over the speakers. I was like, what is happening? Are they stupid?
Very well. Is the Admiralty Board prepared to render judgment?
Sorry we're late.
Come on, we didn't even take very long. You guys are awful. I don't want to wait here all day on this thing about people being alive or not, so, screw it.
You didn't waste much time declaring us dead. Go get your ship.
We apologize, Shepard. Your success in taking back the Alarei is very unexpected.
But also very welcome.
Did you find anything on the Alarei that could clarify what happened there?
Shepard, please.
Does Captain Shepard have any new evidence to submit to this hearing?
Tali helped me defeat Saren and the Geth at the Citadel. That should be all the evidence you need.
I fail to see what relevance...
You're not really interested in Tali, are you? This trial isn't about her. It's about the Geth.
This hearing has nothing to do with the Geth.
You want people to sympathize with them. Hangarel wants to go to war. None of you care about Tali. She knows more about the Geth than any other Quarian alive. You should be listening to her, not putting her on trial. Tali Zora saved the Citadel. She saved the Alarei. She showed the galaxy the value of the Quarian people. I can't think of stronger evidence than that.
Are the Admirals prepared to render the judgment? Tali Zora, in light of your history of service, we do not find sufficient evidence to convict. You are cleared of all charges. Commander Shepard, please accept these gifts in appreciation for you taking the time to represent one of our people.
If you appreciate me, then listen. The Reapers are coming. I'm going to need your help to stop them. Please don't throw away your lives against the Geth.
Thank you, Commander Shepard. I hope this board carefully considers your advice.
This hearing is concluded. Go in peace, Tali Zora vas Normandy. Kila Salai.
I can't believe you pulled that off. What you said. I've never had anyone speak like that on my behalf. Thank you for being there for my father and me. Even when... Thank you.
We can still go back in and get you exiled if you want.
Thanks, but I'm fine with things like this. It's fun watching you shout.
Tali, about what your father said, what he did, you deserved better.
I got better, Shepard. I got you.
Come on, Tali, Zora, Boss, Normandy. Let's get back to our ship.
Thank you, Captain.
This should come in handy.
Is there follow-up dialogue around this?
The Admirals thought they were humbling you by forcing you to represent her, Shepard. I'm glad they were wrong. You didn't mention survivors. Did you find real Tali? I am sure he would have left you a message if he'd had time.
Jesus Christ, that option on the left is ridiculous.
We found Rail's body. He left a message for Tali.
I can only imagine how horrible this is for you, child. But at least you got to hear your father tell you he loved you.
Yes. Thank you, Admiral.
Good luck on your mission. No matter how dark it gets, the fleet is always with you. Keep us alive.
Don't suppose we could make the press beat end the mission thing go away, so I could read the dialogue. That's fine. It's fine. It's kind of unnecessary, right? You just walk down a hallway to get back to the exit. They don't need that big of a pop-up for this.
All this talk of war gives me chills. I hope it's just rhetoric.
You called us on the carpet out there, Shepard, and you were right. Thank you. Tali shouldn't have been involved in that argument. Tell me, though, honestly, what did you find over there? You spoke well, but I know a feint when I see it.
Tali, is there anything the Admiral should know?
We found a lot of dead bodies, Admiral. Including my father's, that's all. Whatever research they were doing was destroyed.
I'll take your word for it, Tali. Not that I have much choice. Fight well, and fly safe, kid. Your father would be proud of you.
Oh, it went away and then it came back.
Very impressive, Shepard. Thank you for your help on the Alarei. And thank you for helping Rail Zora's daughter. You stood for her when we failed. We were wrong to let our own concerns about the war overshadow Tali's trial.
I have to know that voice actor, right? Admiral Koras von Vasquib, IMDb. Voice acted by Martin Jarvis. Who's Martin Jarvis? Because this guy is way too recognizable sounding and it's bothering me. What? He's in Titanic and Wreck-It Ralph and Girl with the Dragon Tattoo? And Batman Arkham City. Oh, he plays Alfred. He plays Alfred in Batman games, and maybe other Batman stuff too, I would assume. That would explain a lot.
The galaxy needs more people saying what you're saying, Admiral. Good luck.
Thank you, Commander.
Yeah, now that I've looked that up, he totally does just sound like Alfred from Batman with like a voice filter, because he's of course speaking through that mask.
Hello again, Commander. Good luck, Tali.
Nice talking, Shepard. Funny how it takes a commander to remind the Admirals about military honor. Glad they're off your back, ma'am. And that you didn't have to give them that evidence you found on the Alarei.
I didn't say anything about finding evidence, Carl.
Noticed that, ma'am.
Any idea what your next assignment is going to be?
I'm going to be escorting more techs around to look for signs of dark energy buildup. Maybe see if they can figure out what's causing it. Wherever they send me, it'll have to be less exciting than Haystrom.
What's your take on the war? Are the Admirals going to try to retake the homeworld?
I won't shy away from a fight, but if the Admirals throw the fleet at the Geth, all they'll get back is scrap metal. The best bet would be for us to find another way. But a soldier can't say unless his superiors ask.
Stay safe out there, Rieger.
You too, Shepard. Ma'am.
Carl, just call me Tali.
I'll work on that, ma'am.
I like how the other character politely walked away for the conversation.
Get out there that need killing.
Very impressive speech, Commander Shepard. But tell me truly, did you recover any of Rail Zora's research on the Alarei?
Nothing that will help you, Admiral.
Pity. Oh well. Whatever is created can be recreated. In any event, I am pleased that our talk regarding the war conundrum allowed you to help Tali. Her exile would have been unfortunate.
Goodbye, Admiral.
There's a few options you can dig into there, or just move on. Alright, that's a decent amount of follow-up. I actually don't remember if when I played the game for the first time, if I actually went back for those little pieces. Let's see if I can find that guard up front, the captain of the ship. Is he still up here? I want to see if there's follow-up dialogue here, too. Captain Cardana.
Congratulations, Tali Zora. I was skeptical about your choice in captains, but I see now that I was wrong.
Thank you, Captain. I'm just glad that this is over.
You'll always have a place on the Raya, whenever you decide to come home. Good luck out there.
Well, alright then. This seems to have been more or less the best case scenario outcome. Let's try not to screw it up. Tali Zora has been cleared of all charges, and her trust in Shepard ensures her loyalty on the mission. Political ramifications of Quarian war efforts against Geth are troubling. Likely to need Quarian forces against Reapers. Cannot risk additional instability. Yeah, another 1,000 experience. It doesn't matter because I already hit the level cap. She now has power drain and a new costume. Big boost of shield strength for one party member. Ooh, attack power damage bonus. That's a good one to find. That's a very good one to find. 45,000 credits. We're good. At long last, Tali, you're capable of having conversations again. She's been locked off from all proper talks because once somebody wants you to go on a loyalty mission, that's all they'll ever talk about.
Keela, I'm sorry I dragged you into Quarian politics. All that infighting, seeing what my father did. You were the only one there for me, Shepard. The only cover I had against that storm. Thank you.
Are Quarian politics always like that?
No. Sometimes it can actually get unpleasant. We're a very social people, Shepard. We have to be, to make up for being stuck in these suits. And part of that means getting involved in each other's business.
I imagine they're trying to fill your father's spot on the Admiralty board. What will that do to the balance of power?
I have no idea. Being exiled might have made it easier. A few people are suggesting me as a candidate. Replacing an admiral takes time, though. You may not have noticed, but Quarians like to debate.
The whole trial was insulting. You should have had time to mourn your father.
I don't think life is about what you deserve. But my father would be honored that I chose to mourn him by blowing up a lot of Geth. I should get back to work. But thanks for checking on me.
I will say, slightly disappointing how much Legion there was. There was a couple cool conversations with Legion, and obviously there's this whole standoff of everyone freaking out that Legion's even there. But it kind of tapered off. And by the time we were on our way back from the mission, Legion kind of stopped being a part of the conversation entirely.
Shepard, what can I do for you?
Have you got time to talk?
I really need to clean up this engine. Maybe later?
I'll let you work.
Talk to you later.
She won't do any more dialogue. She's done so little so far, though, because she immediately dumped that on me. I think I have to trigger another mission and come back, and then we'll probably get more dialogue out of her. Unfortunately, there's not much game left. I guess I can always check in with her periodically during the post-game when I'm doing side quests and just see if she triggers new stuff along those lines, I hope.
Shepard.
Anything new?
There is something I've wanted to tell you. I've done many things in my lifetime. I thought the galaxy held nothing new for me. Since joining you, I've realized how much more there is.
You must have seen many things in your years of travel.
As a maiden, I served as a mercenary. I fought tyrants and pirates. I experienced everything the galaxy has to offer. As a Justicar, I saw parts of Asari space few know about. I destroyed villages and saved cities. I even fought a Spectre.
Why did you fight a Spectre?
A Taurian named Nihilus. He may have been on council business, but I witnessed him kill an unarmed civilian. Following the code, I attacked.
Nihilus seemed like an honorable Turian, and a good Spectre.
He may have been. However, killing unarmed civilians is wrong.
How did the fight turn out?
I had the advantage, but he was good. He returned fire and tried to run. We played cat and mouse in the wilderness for 2 weeks. It was exhilarating. Finally, he created a situation in which my only options were to let an innocent die or pursue him. The code compelled me to save the innocent, and he escaped. I admire how he adapted and used my code against me.
When we met, I witnessed you kill a merc who had no chance against you.
That mercenary was armed, and I offered her a way out. She chose to ignore it.
What have your years as a Justicar been like?
Mostly tedium and hardship. Traveling on freighters, wandering through rural areas, rooting out injustices, big and small, putting down corrupt officials. When I arrive in a remote area, individuals often approach me with matters of justice. My judgment rarely turns out the way they hope.
How do you pay for transportation between worlds?
Asari captains often welcome Justicars. We reduce pirate attacks. One raid was called off when the pirates were able to verify that I was aboard.
Why would you destroy an entire village?
I tracked Morinth to a remote colony world. She'd perverted an entire town, making them worship her and bring young Asari as sacrifices. When I arrived, she fled, throwing her minions at me in waves. They bought her time with their lives. When it was done, only small children remained. I left them in the authorities' care and continued my pursuit.
What was being a mercenary like?
I was a young, impulsive maiden who discovered her talent for combat. I reveled in it, until the day my troop was hired to guard a mysterious shipment on its way to some clandestine drop-off area. I discovered the shipment was slaves, to be traded to the collectors for advanced technology.
I can't imagine you went along.
I demanded that we turn around. My mates disagreed. After they were dead, I brought the ship around. The collector craft was just arriving. They closed faster than I could flee. Fortunately, we were close to the mass relay. I got through, and they did not pursue.
What did you do with all the slaves?
I lectured them on the virtues of strength and defending oneself. Then I distributed the armor, weapons, and credits of my dead colleagues, and released the captives on the Citadel.
We're not done with this yet.
I am sure. It will be my honor to be by your side at the end.
You think we're all gonna die?
You've assembled a powerful group, but we are fighting an unknown. I am ready for whatever comes, but I do not fool myself about our chances.
Our lives are secondary to completing the mission.
Agreed.
That's actually a great conversation that seems super missable with how late it is in the chain. So, Samara, as you would imagine for somebody that's lived for as long as she has, basically has an entire Mass Effect game in her own history. In fact, I could easily see them make an entire game just covering that, like, the stories she has there. Although, the fact that they're told here makes their outcomes determined, which means that it's harder to make moral choices along the way. But the way she interacts is interesting. I especially find it interesting how she'll be straight up like, the others disagreed with me after they were dead, blah 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 blah. Like she just skips the part where she had killed everybody because it's just taken for granted that people who get in her way die. Also, she encountered Nihilus, the first Spectre we ever met in the game from the beginning of the first game, and we learned something less than savory about Nihilus. The context is missing a little bit. We don't know what he was up to. I could imagine there are situations where somebody could be killing an unarmed civilian because, I mean, frankly, we killed an unarmed civilian. It's not necessarily completely morally right, but the person being killed may be getting killed for specific reasons, such as, like, how we killed that one horrible scientist guy that was committing illegal surgeries on people and kidnapping them and turning them into monsters and everything. I don't think he had a gun when we gunned him down, if I remember correctly. He might have drawn one at the last second, but otherwise, even if he did, that if he hadn't, that was like a case of cutting down an unarmed civilian, and the reasons were, there's a decent number of reasons for having done that at the very least. So maybe Nihilus was justified on some level, not in everyone's moral code, but on some level justified for doing what he did, since he didn't come across as somebody that just guns down random people, like Saren might have when he was a Spectre. But one code crossing another. It's funny that two different groups, in fact, one group that's even named, that's basically based on the other group, two different policing forces for two different factions, because of their different rules and different codes, despite their attempt for a greater good being the point of both of them, end up fighting each other directly based on a code. And one way or another, what does make Nihilus seem like an unsavory type a bit, is that in his desperation, for the sake of his self-preservation, he was willing to do something much darker. Because I get the feeling that the second case of endangering a civilian, an armed civilian to get rid of Samara, that may have been probably an innocent person that he was risking. He was probably fairly confident that Samara would be able to take care of it. It was probably even trivial for Samara to take care of, but just enough of a distraction for him to get away. But the fact that he did it at all is questionable. It's interesting that BioWare still cares about characters that were only in the game for 5 minutes at the very beginning, enough to still develop them further 2 games later, basically.